This is part 11, second to last case at the
11,
homicide desk.
11A.
Oh, yeah. Man, why
These
do we keep doing this?
I don't
Like
know.
this...
These homicide cases are long. It's kind of cool, though.
Yeah, it's good.
I
I mean,
like
30 minutes feels short, but the break in between to talk about it and speculate is really cool.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. All right, let's start. Man, that's a boring title.
Kind of factual compared to
Yeah,
the other ones.
I guess we're getting back into Hollywood.
That's a good point. That's kind of been missing from the homicide arc so far.
Another drunk woman.
Oh, they're kind of letting us see his face there, huh?
Almost, yeah. It's a guy who owns overalls and a hat.
Also, that guy has a face
Well,
with things
yeah.
like a nose and eyes.
That's hardly identifying evidence. Most people have faces.
Yes, I'm aware that it's an election year. Keep a hold of your hat, Count. Now is not the time to lose your nerve.
They both have hats.
It would appear that someone has hocked a rose gold wedding ring and matching engagement ring. Sound familiar?
Deirdre Muller.
Press the pawnbroker and see what you can find out. The address is 348 South Main Street. The Muller case goes before the grand jury next week, and the DA does not want any egg on his face. Then get out to the railroad depot on Santa Fe Avenue. We have another poor unfortunate found this morning beside a railroad line. 40-year-old white woman.
Right, Skipper.
Ah, we're doing it in black and white.
Yes, we are. By
That's-
popular demand.
Yeah, a guy on the thread and me.
Another body. And Deirdre Muller's ring. The Emperor may soon have to come to terms with the fact that he's wearing no clothes.
Exactly. Did you get that book of riddles shoved up your ass? Is that what your old man paid college tuition for?
I think his name is Phelps. I read about it.
So we are actively getting back into a past case. Instead of just us speculating about it and Cole mentioning, I'm not happy, we're actually picking the threads back up.
Yeah, because our captain has asked us to. It's not something that we can...
Grudgingly, yeah.
This is looking odd.
Anyone could.
But who would...
But if you take it along with all of the other indicators,
Cole, Hugo Moeller was identified by the school's groundkeeper. He's our guy.
witnesses have fingered the wrong guy before.
He ran, for God's sakes.
And he always maintained he was set up.
So interestingly, we charged the pedophile, but that dialogue seemed to indicate that it was going with the husband.
Yeah. Also, what? When did the husband... Oh yeah, the husband did run. I forgot about that.
From the incinerator. But that's just because he had blood from the rabbit or something stupid like that.
Interesting. And you're not, like, replaying this case? This is still on the same save?
No, it's on the same save.
Odd.
How can I help you, boy?
I guess we didn't get the canonical ending when we played through it.
Detectives Phelps and Galloway, LAPD. You have a rose gold wedding and engagement ring?
David Bremner. Am I gonna get something for this pledge? Gave that bum money, now you guys are gonna leave me short.
How much did you give him?
$50?
Try another number.
20?
Try 10. Feel lucky you're getting it.
I have the rings
I
ready.
feel like we've seen that guy's voice actor, if not the actual character, before. He sounds really familiar.
Not to me.
What's this mark here?
Maker's Mark. Usually traces.
Oh,
That one came from Hartfield's Jewelry down on Broadway.
where has Hartfield's come up before? Is that one of the opening cases?
I don't think that was Hartfield.
I feel like I've heard that name.
Does this mark mean anything?
Really, Cole?
Hallmark. Gives you an idea of the quality.
Gosh, what could 22K mean on a gold ring?
What have you got on the guy who brought these in?
Goes by the name of Percy
Oh.
B. Shelley.
Oh!
Gave an address. 15 Poland Street, London, Tulare County.
Can you give us a description of the man who pawned these rings?
Not sure. Medium height, medium build, dark hair, I think. Sorry. He just had one of those forgettable faces.
Be in touch, Mr. Bremner.
Well, A, that clears the captain, who does not have a forgettable face. B, maybe that was part of the serial killing spree anyway. Maybe the guy just varies his MO to not be obvious.
All right, we're
Because
rolling.
the poem
On the
that
rail,
was
people.
left in the third case was a Shelley poem.
Exactly.
Huh.
We have a problem.
We could have the local troopers check out the Tulare County address.
The address is bogus. Herb is having fun with us. The guy who's been sending the Dahlia letters is also the guy who pawned the rings.
How do you figure that one?
Percy Bysshe Shelley wrote the poem that came with
Oh,
the Dahlia
cool.
letter. The Dahlia letters are genuine. The man who killed Elizabeth Short may have also killed Deirdre Mullen.
And how do we prove that, no? Skipper ain't gonna like this one.
We're gonna have to rely on this guy tripping up on his own vanity.
Any Central unit, 459 suspects to be taken into custody at the trolley station on Lucas Avenue. Stand by for further.
So that sounds like an actual tangential street crime thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Phelps!
Decided not to do any street crimes on the homicide desk.
Yeah.
Seems like we could just save them for the bonus video.
And the cases have had such good narrative flow that,
Breathe,
for the most part, it would
breathe, damn it!
be sad to interrupt them. What?
Yep.
Oh.
Only
Oh.
parts of the fence are easily destroyed. Others
Okay.
are made from titanium chain link.
I see.
Don't turn.
In 2 miles, don't exit.
Yeah, the GPS is cute,
Yeah.
but annoying to use.
We, at one point, my wife and I did a road trip from Minneapolis down to Texas, which meant about 1,000 to 1,200 miles. You get on I-35 and you don't get off.
Wow.
And, of course, it didn't break down like that because in 200 miles, don't exit. In 50 miles, keep left to not exit, sort of thing.
So
I
this
think
is an accurate GPS then.
Yeah, exactly. I think the longest we ever got between instructions was only about 220 miles, which
Wow.
isn't much compared to the actual distance in which we were not doing anything.
But you just left the GPS on mostly for its comedic value.
Taking the next
So
left.
that we could see where we were in relation to the rest of the country and the state, and where we were passing and stuff.
For those of you watching the video, it's very difficult to navigate 3 dimensions on this game. I just got very, very
Slow and
confused by the
steady,
fact that I was
come
on
on.
a stupid overpass.
Really
and-
starting to
I just stopped. I can't take trying to follow your direction seeking anymore.
Well, I kept hitting the square button, and all he told me was don't turn.
Follow me.
Well, maybe you just needed to stay on I-35.
We should keep this development with the rings under our hat.
We're all on the same team, Rusty.
Chain of command, Phelps. The skipper
How do you feel
will
about the black and
decide
white
who
so
needs
far?
to know. Got it?
It's interesting. I don't know. I haven't made up my mind yet.
Hart, isn't it?
Yeah. I look after all the rail depots.
What have you got?
The Negro, Nelson Gaines, called it in. I came down here to make sure him and the other guy, Jameson, stuck around.
Jameson found the body?
Something like that. Guy makes me sick.
We'll talk to the coroner. Keep an eye on both of them.
It's interesting.
What have we got here?
White female, approximately 40 years of age, lipstick smudges on the face, but no writing, at least nothing legible. A blunt force trauma to the temple, nose, and eye regions. Ligature marks point to the probable cause of death being strangulation.
Any idea of the time of death?
From her temperature, after midnight would be my guess.
They had to really amp
can
up
talk
the
about it later,
contrast to
Phelps.
make it work.
Yes.
I've noticed.
Like the gravel's kind of ridiculous. Wow, that makes the texture look so bad.
Very good. There is the usual evacuation smell, but it appears she's been living rough for quite some time.
Very strong smell of alcohol.
Well, the autopsy will tell, but I would assume that she was inebriated.
Wow. Black and white is not kind to some of the textures.
Another missing ring.
Huh.
Certainly seems I've been swabbing a lot of bare fingers recently.
Can you be more exact about the time of death?
No later than 2 a.m. The state the body was in, a 1 or 2 hour window is the best I can do.
Honestly, on the video quality, I'm a little bothered that the picture is just as sharp.
Yeah.
Like, my brain apparently wants it to be slightly lower quality film, as it were.
Another please come home note in another Hollywood story.
I didn't actually get to read the whole thing. Oh well. I'll trust your analysis.
We could go over to the lot and see what they know about her.
That's going to be difficult, Cole. Keystone Studio lot closed back in 41.
Ah. Good until Halloween. Not a bar. Not a bar. Oh. Menches? The bar is called Mensch?
Yes, it is.
Oh. Oi.
This is a chit for personal items, not booze. It's an angle worth investigating.
That's a cool shot right there. Good detective work, Cole. You found the corpse and the tarp with some clues on it.
This is one of the more advanced cases.
Yes, I can see that.
Detective Phelps and Galloway, homicide. Can you tell me exactly what happened?
We were shunting cars over to the main line when I saw this man here lying on top of this woman. The woman wasn't moving and seemed to be in a bad way.
What time was this?
About 7:30 this morning, sir.
Thanks for your help. Have you given Patrolman Hart your details?
I have, sir.
Thank you. You can go now. Detective Phelps, LAPD homicide.
John Ferdinand Jameson.
We need you to answer some questions, John.
If you don't mind, I prefer Ferdinand.
Don't push your luck,
What?
knucklehead.
What were you doing to the body?
Thank you, Cole.
Are you sure you won't be upset?
Try me, Ferdinand.
I was kissing her.
Oh,
It's
Jesus.
not against the law.
Shut up.
There's no
Take
law
your
against
beating
it.
like a man.
Turn out your pockets, Ferdinand. Classic Carmine.
Is that
Is this
brand
yours, Ferdinand?
significant?
No. I found it near her purse. I thought she could use some lipstick.
Rusty, stop. Don't hit him.
Oh, this guy's a creeper.
You went through her purse?
It wasn't like she needed it. I took a look.
Did you take any money?
Wasn't any to take. I found her lipstick and her matchbook over on the mat. Not much else.
You found the body?
Yes, I did. I work here. I was coming off shift and headed home.
Why didn't you report the body, Jameson? Do you know how this is going to look to a jury?
A jury? What gives? I could tell that she was dead. I came through here about midnight last night. She wasn't here then.
Let me belt him again.
You're under arrest, Jameson. We'll see how this plays out. Until then, you can think a little on how you'd like to be treated if you were found dead.
I'm telling you, it's not illegal. Me and some friends of mine...
Clyde, you get this sack of shit into a cell. I'll deal with him later.
Sure, Rusty.
Well, okay.
I'm at a loss.
I say we check out Mensch's place.
Different
By the
times.
smell, this brought Spencer Chuck and
Yeah,
Chuck
I'm
and
surprised Cole didn't interrupt Rusty more than he did. That was certainly a guy.
Phelps, 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
I need an address on Levine's Liquor, closest store to the Santa Fe Avenue rail yard, if possible.
Just a moment, Detective. Closest store would be the one at 939 South Hope Street.
Thanks, ma'am.
We also have the bar. Do we already have the address for it?
It was on the address on the matchbook.
Oh, yeah, okay. Cool then. Yep.
The liquor store seemed more interesting though. The chit for personal items.
Yep, that was weird. I'm getting a heavy Jewish vibe from this case.
Why? Because the film industry? That's racist.
No, because our two options are Mensch's bar and Levine's liquor store.
Read that those goddamn Chinese want to sell the relief food that we're sending them.
Also, Jews control the media. Amazing! There was one obstacle in an acre of open ground.
Yeah, I read about that.
People are starving. They can't do that.
Want to sell the food to fund the civil war against the communists.
Really? Guess that's okay then.
Armies can't fight without food. You spend all your money on weapons, but you still have to have the will to fight. Fortunately, the Reds will win in China.
Watch your mouth. You know what you're saying?
The people of this country overthrew a king. You think the Chinese...
Easy.
That was a beautiful crash. Something about it. It just
Yeah,
looks
that's
really.
nice. There was one car that looked like the Wienermobile in black and
The people
white.
of this country overthrew a king. You think the Chinese will balk at an emperor if they are starving?
That was interesting. Unusual topic of conversation for the game.
Driving around downtown looks really good in black and white, I will say.
Yes, it does.
That particular murder scene, it was not kind too.
It would have been alright except for the gravel just looked hideous.
Stay on this road.
It makes the music feel more appropriate.
Yes, it does. Something about it though, it just really feels like they...
Okay, so go
You
left.
can tell that they started with color and took it out afterwards.
Yeah. Probably referring to the sky in some way too. Like,
Okay, at the
I
next
don't know,
corner,
it's
go
really
right.
Overwhelming
Cole!
in black and white. It's too simple.
You know, there should be a counter, and after
Through
you
this
get
intersection.
enough crashes, Rusty should start just going Cole, and get more and more just kind of
Yeah.
accepting of it.
desensitized. Oh, that would be funny.
Again, elaborate window displays. There are 8 days in their sign.
What can I do for you?
LAPD, Phelps and Galloway. We're making inquiries into the murder of Evelyn Summers.
Evelyn? She's dead?
You knew Evelyn Summers, Mr.
Robbins. Yes, I knew Evelyn. I was a good friend of her ex-husband. She kept some of her stuff here.
Can you show us, please?
Sure. Come this way. You got some fine stock here, Mr. Robbins. Well, you let us take some to the
God's
road, this case might get solved a lot quicker.
He's joking, Mr. Robbins.
She kept a bed here, but I probably shouldn't have let her. An alcoholic in a liquor store. That was never going to work out, was it?
We'll take a look
Well,
around.
this is A, depressing, and B, looks really good in black and white.
I'm guessing Evelyn hadn't held down a job for quite some time before she was killed.
exactly did Evelyn work in the pictures?
A few years ago. She worked in legal copyrights for music.
Did you do that slow pan, or did the game?
I did.
Cool.
I mean, I didn't intentionally do it slowly.
Excellent cinematography, Matt.
Thank you.
She wasn't always such a loner. Evelyn was reading Aristotle?
Evelyn wasn't stupid. The only stupid thing about her was her need to drink.
And she was borrowing books from Grosvenor McCaffrey.
Grosvenor's a weird name. I disapprove.
Okay. I wonder if this guy's got any boxes from the fruit store.
Well, as a liquor provider himself, I would find that unlikely.
Well, he could redistribute. Are you sure you got everything? It looked like you skipped a section of her little cranny.
Yeah, it's still playing the music. I'm trying to figure out what the thing is. See, I swear I pushed the joystick in the correct direction a couple of times here, but it's only until I try it, I think, for a third time that it lets me actually pick up this bowling pin.
Ah, okay. We really couldn't read that from the original distance.
Yeah, exactly.
It was so hard to tell.
Rawlings. I know that place. Corner of 9th and Grand. A lot of cops bowl there on Tuesday nights.
Well, this is interesting. We just have tons and tons of leads, no one of which has any clear connection to the actual murder. We're just like trying to find out who this person was and what she did in general, instead of tracing her steps. Sort of the opposite of the last case's approach.
Yeah.
We're trying to account for Evelyn's movements yesterday.
Oh, fine.
Came by in the morning.
A social visit? To pick up some of her things?
She had a couple of bucks and bought a quart of rye.
Any idea where the money came from?
She didn't mention it, but she did say the booze was a present for a boy. She said they had been fighting and she had to make it up to him.
Were you and Evelyn close, Mr. Robbins?
Not many people will be sad she's gone. I'll be one of the few.
He's lying. Look at that liar.
I got the impression that Evelyn had been sleeping rough of late.
Good Noire dialogue.
It became difficult for me to have her staying here. Her mother was trying to get her back on the straight and narrow. She's old now.
I really like this guy in general.
To be honest, you have to have a good reason to want to get back on.
His performance is excellent.
Sort of reminds me of a
You
sheriff
know a friend
or
of
cowboy.
Evelyn's by the name of McCaffrey?
Not personally.
We're struggling for leads, Robbins. Did she know McCaffrey?
She idolized him. From what I gather, the feeling was far from mutual. He seems to peddle a revolutionary stance, fixing the ills of society. You could see how it would appeal to down-and-outs like Evelyn.
Thanks for your help, Mr. Robbins.
No problem. Hey, I'd like to make arrangements for the funeral. You think I could get in touch with Evelyn's mother?
Put in a call to the watch commander at Central Station, Mr. Robbins. He'll be trying to reach the next of kin.
Thanks.
Oh.
Get the guy, huh? Evelyn never hurt anybody.
Oh, I really like him. That was a really, really well done character performance, all of that good stuff. His delivery was just great.
Yeah, small little side characters like that can really go a long way.
Whoa, that's a nice church.
Yeah, it caught my eye as I was walking out. I had to adjust the camera and see it.
So I finally have been playing.
No, it's just the side case.
I have finally been playing Assassin's Creed Brotherhood in my ongoing quest to catch up with the hot game from 2 years ago. And I just did the mission where you like go deep underground and then deeper underground, and you're like 200 yards below the surface, and then you find a church. And someone, I mean, it was awesome from a sort of movie design standpoint, but...
Phelps, Galloway, homicide. We need to ask you some questions concerning Evelyn Summers.
I'm Walter Mensch. Evelyn Summers? What is it now?
You knew Evelyn?
As well as I wanted to know Evelyn. She's a pain in the ass, always coming in here, cadging drinks, never had any money. She was in just a couple of nights ago.
Did she ever tell you where she was staying?
I don't know. I think she was living rough. She had that kind of stunk about her.
Who did she drink with?
A bunch of these guys. Ask around.
Another good voice actor.
What's your name?
Grosvenor McCaffrey.
Mind if I ask you some questions, Mr. McCaffrey?
I'm just a starving writer, detective. What do you want to ask about?
Evelyn Summers, and why she was found beaten
Cole.
and strangled in
Cole,
the rail depot on
he's
Santa
4 feet away
Fe.
from you, Cole.
Okay. I see your point.
How well did you know her?
I can't say that I knew her. It was more like I was aware of her.
Do you have a criminal record, Mr. McCaffrey?
Nothing serious. I've had a few skirmishes.
You want to save me some time, or do you want me to look up your file?
Industrial disputes, strikes, workers' rights, that kind of thing.
A regular fifth columnist. Nice to meet you, comrade.
Oh, jeez.
You say you barely knew Evelyn?
Yes, that is correct.
You're lying, McCaffrey. You looked down your nose at Evelyn, but you knew her, and you have some idea of what happened.
I hope you're holding aces. I'm telling you again, I barely knew
A
the
smug
I'm holding
little
aces.
prick. God damn. I really...
Why would you lend her your book on metaphysics if you only knew her in passing? It was more than that. A Renaissance man like yourself, lending his books to his acolytes.
She hounded me about that goddamn book, and then she lifts it from my apartment and lies to my face that she didn't take it, as if she could even comprehend any of it.
So she's been to your apartment?
Yep.
I saw her go into a hotel with Tiernan last night. They had booze in a paper bag. He's your man.
So Tiernan was probably
Thank you for the
one
information,
she bought
Mr.
booze
McCaffrey.
for.
Mm-hmm. Presumably. Man, I generally would want to, you know, sympathize with the labor organizers and protesters against the cops, particularly when Rusty acts like that. But
11 King.
Yeah, this guy's not very sympathetic.
11 King, in or out?
I mean, to be fair,
Let's not keep the man waiting, Phelps.
to be fair, he couldn't have known that Cole was secretly, you know, super ultra Boy Scout.
Yep.
Anyway, I guess that was more of a stock character, but well done.
So we're headed back to Central, Code 2, which is apparently the only police code that matters.
There's also Code 4. You know,
Yeah, but that's
I
not
just
as
shot a
important.
bunch of guys.
Watch it,
It's
will
Code 4.
Although there was one time I said, I've got a Code 4 and also I need some body bags or something like that, so
Yeah, exactly.
it's a mystery. Oh. Pardon me.
Compelling case, huh?
Captain is downstairs
Sorry?
with Ray Pinker.
Compelling case?
Yeah, we really don't have a lot to go on just yet. I mean, we've got the suggestion that we should investigate Tiernan, and I don't know why Cole didn't press him. So, this Tiernan, does he have a first name, a last name? What kind of a name is Tiernan?
What's this about, Captain?
Ray and Mal have some concerns over the Henry and Muller cases, which I don't want aired outside of this
Henry,
room.
too.
Evidence is solid, Captain.
I agree, Rusty. It's just that corpses keep piling up.
Copycats.
I've been banging the same drum. But the notes and the lipstick messages.
Evelyn Summers, Cartel Classic Carmine. Each woman, same brand, same color.
Teresa Tarleton didn't have a lipstick message.
Technically, you're right, Rusty. She didn't have any lipstick, but she did have a message. We found it beneath her dress, scraped with a sharp stick.
What did it say?
You sure you want to know?
Ray?
As far as we can be sure, it said cunt BD.
That's one way of looking at it.
Looking at what?
Cunt is all about access, Phelps. You're married, so yours is mortgaged. Some of us like to pay by installments. This guy doesn't like to pay at all.
Classy.
Why are you so angry, Mal?
Because I just had to fire one of my assistants. He was a friend of Jameson's. God knows what he might have been up to.
Captain, we have good leads in the Summers case, but it's up to you to decide how we proceed.
Keep this under your hat for now. And follow up on Evelyn Summers. I want daily reports.
That would be more meaningful if cases ever took more than a day. It's not
well,
the
this is where we pause it.
All right. Well, it's definitely interesting. We've got a lot of stuff up in the air right now, but not really enough evidence even to start seriously speculating.
Yeah, I don't even think we have really one suspect at this point. But it is interesting to see the serial killer thread coming to light. I think that one's going to come to a boil here real soon.
Yep. Okay, well, let's just try and get part 2 out sooner rather than later then.
Cool. Talk to you later.
All right.